chasing growth and nothing less. This is the journey from scratch to success.
Hello everyone, welcome to From Scratch to Success, where I interview the most successful entrepreneurs about their journey. My name is Jayma, your host, and today my hair is done by Lauren On. I've got a very special guest here with me today, Jeff Musolino, who is a long-term producer, a single dad, and a content creator who talks openly about love, loss, growth, and self-worth. His work focuses on helping people break through unhealthy habits and choose themselves without losing love. And he is also an Emmy winner. I am so excited to have you here, Jeff. How are you?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me. Yes, shout out to the Emmys. I just won an Emmy recently, so humble brag, but thank you. Appreciate it. Love this.
That's amazing. I'm going to ask you more about that throughout our interview. So tell me, Jeff, the origin story. Tell me everything.
Okay. So basically, all of this started from, well, I have a background in production anyway. Here's the little fun behind the scenes fact is that like I've always been the guy behind the camera. So I've always been, the guy who works with talent. I'm never talent. And for the longest time I convinced myself like you're not talent. You're the guy who shoots talent. And so now I'm finally in this space where it's like, no, I want to be the guy in front of the camera. I want to be the talent because I feel like I have more to offer in that platform or in that avenue. So this all started when I was going through maybe now 2 years now. About 2 years ago, I was going through a breakup and I just wanted to, I needed an outlet. And the videos that were helping me get through my breakup were videos very similar to like what I make now, where it was like very like motivational and inspirational and kind of like talking you through it. And I was like, you know what, maybe I can make videos like this and help others. And then in turn, it'll distract me from my, overthinking and spiraling and going through this breakup and all this heartache. And little by little, I would make these videos. It started slow. And then I would get messages and DMs where people would say, I really need to hear this. And this really is helping me. And so it just kind of like lit this fire underneath me to keep making it and just keep helping the people. Cause I'm also, I'm 38. So I'm in this stage of life where I'm like, what is my purpose? And I feel like everyone's purpose in some capacity is to help others, so I feel like this was also giving me purpose at the same time. So really that's what it was. It was like, I was going through a breakup. I wanted to deal with it. This was helping me deal with it. I was able to help others. And then it just started to grow. And then the more I did it, the more, followers I would get or likes I would get. And it was a slow build. And then, before I knew it, I had 10,000 followers. And I when I started this, I had less than 500. So it's something I did not expect, but, something I really enjoy because I'm helping people, but what they don't realize is they're also helping me. So it's a really cool, it's a nice little like give and take, but it's been amazing, but it all stemmed from going through a breakup.
Wow. So would you say the inspiration for starting this is because of the breakup?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, shout out to my ex if you're watching. You helped me out. No, I'm kidding. But it's like really all of it. Going through not even just my recent breakup, but I take pieces from every relationship that I've been in. And I think that's important to note that it's like I always say this, like, I'm not a professional anything. I'm not a life coach. I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm just a guy who's made a lot of mistakes and who's learned from them and has done a lot of inner work and continues to do the inner work. So yes, absolutely. It's the breakup played a big role in getting me out there to make the content I'm making.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. I want to ask you, was there any early challenges that you faced and how did you overcome that, Jeff?
Ooh, great question. I think probably the biggest challenge was to not overthink the content that I was making. A lot of times when you see, when you're consuming so much content and then you start to make content, a lot of times you might slip into like this pattern of making stuff that already exists, or maybe you're like trying to emulate somebody else that you watch because you see their success. And so my thing was like finding my voice and finding my authenticity, which I think I did pretty quickly too, because that's me. Like what you see is what you get with me. So like the energy and vibe you feel now, right now, you'd feel that in person or if we had a phone call, or, if we were texting, like what you see is what you get with me. So it wasn't hard for me to find that authenticity, but it was definitely a challenge at first because I was just trying to find my footing. Like I didn't want to, I kind of had to block out all of the videos that I had been watching that were helping me, that were inspiring me, so that I didn't turn into just like a carbon copy of somebody else who's already doing it.
So like you had to create your own ideas, like your own content, right?
Yes, I had to find like what is my little like, what's my niche, and it was kind of like that's why like listen to your dad became my tagline, and that was something that was like it started as me just saying like listen to your dad, like listen to your parents, not me as your dad, but then it was like I am an actual dad, so it was like no, now I'm the dad, and that's why I started saying I changed my handle to your dad because it's like it's advice from maybe the dad you never had. So I had to find that, but that became like my thing where it's like, I'm your dad. And then, and then it turned into like me doing this like female centric content where a lot of it now is, it's supporting the humans, but a lot of it is supporting the females as well. So that's been really cool too, because it's like a lot of feedback I get is like, wow, we really need more positive male voices for the women. So that's been really cool too.
Wow, that's really beautiful. And I must say that when the first time I come across your content, I was like, whoa, who is this guy? You know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely, you definitely stand out in what you're making. Now, Jeff, I want to ask you, what's like a crucial turning point throughout your journey?
Probably when like my first like viral video happened, which like viral to me was like it breaking over 100,000 views and likes. And so I have a few videos that have done really well on my TikTok, but one of them in particular that was like such a simple, it was like a 9-second long video, which is so funny too, because it's like when you're not thinking about it, those are the ones that blow up. But it was literally me just saying, be with somebody who's not afraid to hurt somebody else's feelings to protect yours, which is like a quote that I love and I fully stand by. And it just kind of exploded and then brought me more people. And so that was a big turning point for me, because it was like, oh, like you don't really have to overthink this stuff. And it doesn't have to be like this crazy, like award-winning cinematography. It's like a lot of my videos, I'm in my car and I'm just like, it's just a camera in my car. There's no bells and whistles to it. So a lot of times it's just don't overthink it and just speak from the heart and just say what you want to say, rather than trying to sit there and go like, what can I make that will be viral? Because if you do that, then those are the things that usually don't go viral. And I think it falls into that same category. I always say like, come from a place of want and not need, because when you have this deep need, it's like a repelling energy versus like, I'm good, I just want these things. So like I can choose what I bring, what comes and goes, and whether it leaves or stays, I'm good with it type energy. So, it was a really cool lesson for me to learn, like, oh, just be you, be authentic, speak from the heart, and then it'll reach the masses.
Yeah, and it did. So I think people appreciate when you are just being yourself.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
Now, Jeff, what about first successful milestone? Would you say it's similar with what you just discussed, or?
Yeah, pretty much. Like that was the first video that I had done that really broke through. And then, a few would trickle after that, but I would say that was definitely my first, like, to consider something a successful milestone. Like that was probably my biggest, but even like now that I'm thinking about it, I would say when I got to like 1,000 followers, because I started with like 500. So like hitting 1,000, I was like, oh, like, and they were authentic followers too. It's not like I'm out there buying followers. Like these are real humans. So I was like, wow, like when you really think about that, a lot of times we see these huge creators that have millions and millions of followers. And we're like, we get discouraged because we're like, I only have 500 or I only have 100. And it's like, that's still 100 people that like if you think about that, if you sat in a room with 100 people listening to you talk, like that's a lot of people. That'd be an overwhelming amount of people. So I think we take that for granted. And then I had to remind myself, like, no, like 1,000 people is a lot of humans that are watching your content, So it's a really cool, like, so I would say like 1,000 was also, a nice milestone and a turning point. But then once I hit those bigger numbers, then you're like, oh my God, like over 100,000 people like stopped by to watch this video and then like chose to like it. So it's just really, it's a really cool era that we're in where you can reach that many people without leaving your car.
Yeah. And how did it feel for you?
It was why it was honestly, it was a roller coaster. It was because like, I was trying not to like obsessively check it, but when you start doing that and you see the momentum of it, all you want to do is just check and watch it. And I'm like watching it rise and I'm like refreshing and it's rising again. And it was a mixture of things. It was super exciting. And also like humbling in a lot of ways too. And it was just it just felt really nice because if you take the excitement piece out of it, like I let myself be excited and then I just really sat with it and thought like, oh my God, like this many people are stopping out of their busy days and they're busy doom scrolling because we all do it because it's hard to grab people's attention. And so people are choosing to stop what they're doing to
Yeah.
watch and to even leave a comment. And so it was just, I don't know, it was really nice. It really kind of fed into my like me feeling like I had a purpose. And it just made me feel like, okay, like I want to keep helping the humans. I want to keep helping the people.
That's very sweet. Now, Jeff, what strategies did you use to help you to grow?
Honestly, I didn't even know if you would call it a strategy, but it was really just staying authentic to me. That was my biggest strategy. It was just like I kept telling myself, because there would be moments when I would like go into ChatGPT and I would ask ChatGPT and I would literally use the word viral. I would say like, what are like some viral topics for my content that I could use? And anytime I did that, it always felt forced. It always felt like I was like having to like remember, like look at ChatGPT and remember these topics. And I had done a few videos like that where I used ChatGPT as an influence and they didn't do great. And and I feel like it was because I think it's all energy, right? Like, it's like, I think that like you can tell when I'm being 100% authentic, and you could probably tell in my videos, I think that when I'm like not fully there. And I think that so for me, like the strategy was always be authentic. Like a lot of times I don't go into it with a plan. Like I used to, when I first started, I would write down topics, but a lot of times I'll literally just put my phone up and I'll just be like, talk about what you're feeling. And a lot of it, I draw inspiration from either my own stuff that I've been through, comments people have left, or just topics that people have thrown out there when I do lives. And so it's like I just grab inspiration, or even a conversation I had with a friend or a family member. It's like I grab inspiration from everywhere and then I just let it store itself in my brain and it just comes out when it needs to,
Yeah, no, that's very inspiring. Now, Jeff, what's some of the lessons that you learned the hard way, and how did you overcome it?
Ooh, that's a great question. Lessons. You know what? Can you curse on this podcast? If you can't, that's okay. I can bleep myself, but there's a reason why I'm asking you. Can you say, do you have to, can I curse or should I not?
Yeah, like, no, maybe
It's okay. I don't have to. I don't have to. I'll bleep myself. I'll edit myself. You'll understand why. So my biggest lesson, okay,
yes.
is knowing your F yeses and your F nos. Like those, that's like, so fill in the blank. You know what I mean? Like, so really like your hard yeses and your hard nos. That's like the censored version of it. But I like to say the nitty gritty, dirty version of it because it's more in your face. But like, it's know your yeses and your nos. So a lot of times when we get into relationships, we're so caught up in this like honeymoon phase and also caught up in this, I want this person to like me, that we forget that like you're also, do you like them? Like you're also trying to see if you like them, like they also have to do their part. But a lot of times we just want to be chosen. We're like, no, we just want to be picked. I want them to like me on this date, but then we're not even thinking about like, wait, but do I even like them? Or like they're doing things that I don't like. And we miss a lot of stuff. We also don't have the hard conversations early on. And that's where those like yeses and nos come in, where it's like, have those hard conversations, have them on the first date, lay it all out there, make sure it's very clear. And that's where my mistake always was. I would get caught up in the whole, because I'm a lover boy. I love love. I would get caught up in everything, and you could do no wrong. You could do no, I wouldn't even see the red flags until it was way too late. And sometimes it would be like, I'm out of the relationship and I'm like, oh my God, how did I miss this? So it's really just knowing yourself and being clear about like what your hard yeses and your hard nos are, and having those hard conversations, like making sure like you don't get too caught up in the honeymoon phase early on. Like I know it's hard, but like just, know what you tolerate and know what you don't. And also keeping your standards high and knowing your value, because that was also something that like I wanted to be like the cool guy, the cool boyfriend. I wanted to just be the guy that's goes with the flow and the yes man. And it's like, but then I'm not being true to myself. And then every time, like as time goes on, I'm losing a piece of myself. So, those are my biggest, like that's the biggest lessons of like really, really know what you want. And if
Mhm,
you don't know those things yet, don't date.
mhm.
Stop dating.
Mm, mm,
Another
mm.
one I will say too is for anybody who's out there online dating, because a lot of people online date, FaceTime with the person first. Before you go out on the date, FaceTime with them. See what
Yeah.
they look like, okay? Because a lot of times people, like, it's not all about looks, but a lot of times on those apps, people don't look like their pictures, all right? So, like, see what they look like, see what their energy is, see what their vibe is, because anybody could be a really fun texter and
Mhm,
be really good at banter. But then you
mhm.
get on the date and you're like, oh my, you know how many stories I hear of women that are like, he was so much fun on text and this was so much fun. And then I got to the date and he was the worst. And now I got to sit there for an hour on this date that I don't even want to be on. So it's like, the FaceTime is the filter for you. Do the FaceTime, and if you like them still, go on the date. And if you don't, speak up and say, I'm good. This is
Mhm,
not going to work for me. Wish you the best. See you later. That's it. So
mhm.
those are like, that's the long-winded answer of the lessons that I've learned as I've grown.
Yeah, well, that's lovely because it sounds like you really need to know what you're looking for, right? And to ensure that you're not wasting your time or the other person's time. Um,
Yes.
yeah. Now, Jeff, you seem so passionate, full of life, full of energy. What keeps you going?
Ooh, that's a great question. I'm not a caffeine drinker. I don't drink coffee, believe it or not.
Really?
Which no, I've always wanted to be a coffee drinker, but like I just don't, it doesn't give me the boost that it gives everybody else. Not like I need it, right? But like it doesn't really pep me up. Um, I think what keeps me going is just um I think just my appreciation for life. Like just really being grateful. Like gratitude, I think, is what keeps me going. Really, like, because now as I get older, and I never was like this when I was younger, but now it's like I have these moments where it's like I woke up today. Like I'm breathing, I'm alive, I have limbs that work, I can run,
Mhm,
I can exercise. It's like those are the things that keep me going, because like life
mhm,
is short. And it's like I also think that, like, it doesn't have to be that serious. That's why I think if you truly learn to love yourself, make yourself your
mhm,
soulmate, make yourself your best friend, so that
mhm,
whatever comes into your life or leaves, even if it's sad, you know that you're good. And I think that's
mhm,
because you come into this world alone, you leave alone. All you have is you, really. So it's like you have to be right
mhm,
with you inside. And that's been my biggest thing. That's what keeps me going, is like the journey of becoming right with me. And
mhm,
then being grateful for like the things we all take for granted every day, which is like, breathing, being healthy, being able to live another day. It's like those things where there's always somebody that has it worse, and your worst is always somebody else's best. So
mhm.
so I think just reminding yourself of those things, like making sure you have gratitude every single day, those are the things that keep me going and like breathe life into me. Like that, this person that you're seeing in front of you, that's at the core of it.
Yeah, wow. And was there any sort of habits or routines that you do, Jeff, that drives success?
Ooh, yeah. So a big one is journaling. So
Mhm,
journaling in the morning and at night. And if extra bonus, if you want to like write and affirmation. So like if you want to write post-its and like put them on the mirror and stuff, you can do that, or get like a marker that you can write on the mirror with, do a vision board, all those things. But I think the journaling is really important. And
mhm,
I think a lot of times people get intimidated by the idea of journaling because they think they have to sit there and like write a diary. And it's like, that's not what it is. It doesn't it could be whatever you want it to be. But I like to do it in the form of like affirmations and
mhm.
speaking things into existence and writing things I'm grateful for, and like writing things as if I already have them, and then just
Yeah.
like packing it away. You don't have to spend too much time on it, and then put it right by your bed. And then in the morning, do it first thing, like before you grab your phone, which we all are guilty of. And trust me, I'm
Mhm.
also guilty of that. You just
Yeah.
take a minute, breathe, do your affirmations, and then you can start your day. And I think those are the things that are always going to set you up for success. And honestly, I can't stress, like, a vision board is so important. When I was like last year coming into 2025, I spent New Year's Eve making a vision board just by myself, doing my thing. And it was the best thing I could have ever done. And I didn't fully know what to expect. And a few very key things, very important things on my vision board came to life in this year. And so it's just, I love the idea of just, you know, acting as if you already have it, like think you
Mhm,
kind of have to be a little bit delusional, you got to be a
mhm,
little delulu before you can get what you want. But that's the whole point of it. So I think, like, do a journal. You can get them for a dollar store. You can get a journal, get a pen, write the stuff down, do your affirmations every single day, look in the mirror, say these things to
Yeah.
yourself, trick
Yeah.
yourself into believing them. And then that's it. Start each day like that and end each day like that.
Yeah, it sounds so simple, but it definitely helps. Jeff,
Yes.
how do you deal with criticism, fear, or burnout?
Ooh, well, great question. I used to handle this much worse.
Okay.
Now it doesn't bother me as much. And I think again, that comes from being an empathetic person, because a lot of times I think like I used to be so like I couldn't handle any criticism in any capacity. I'd be like the most defensive, even if it came from a gentle place. And I think that understanding humans will help you, can help you. Maybe, you know, I can't speak for everybody, but for me, it helps me understand that, you know, everybody's going through stuff. So a lot of times if somebody is criticizing you or somebody's being negative or somebody's being mean, like that's a hurt human. That's somebody that's hurt. And you know, that doesn't excuse their behavior, but I think it allows you to kind of humanize it a little bit and just show empathy and go, you know what, like, I don't like this person's behavior, but like, I don't know what it's like to be them. I don't know what their home life is like. I don't know what their childhood traumas are like. And so that I think plays a big role in how I look at other humans. And then criticism. Now you mentioned burnout. That's a little different because that's more of a personal thing. And I think that is also allowing yourself to have days where you just do nothing, allowing yourself to get burned out and not have to push through it. Because a lot of times, like, and I'm guilty of this too, especially because I'm a dad, where it's like any free time you have, you feel like you have to use it. And it's like, God forbid you take, you know, a day where you just do nothing, a lazy day. You could have a lazy weekend. And a lot of some, I used to be the person that would take those days and then regret it. And I go, man, I should have done this. I didn't get this done. It's like, the laundry isn't going anywhere. You know, your chores aren't going anywhere. Like everything will get done. You will be fine. And it's like, it's okay to, and also I think a lot of times I think social media does this, but we think that like people are watching us. Like, it's like, nobody cares if you're spending all day long on a Sunday watching Stranger Things and eating ice cream. Like nobody cares. Nobody's watching. You don't have a camera on you. You're not on a reality show. So it's like being able to just, you know, just being able to just give yourself some grace and to just understand that you're human and just like take those days to allow yourself to be burned out and then tell yourself like tomorrow's a new day. That's like my favorite thing, where it's like, you don't know what tomorrow's going to happen. Tomorrow could change your life. You could feel, you know, if you're feeling low or you're feeling burnt out or feeling down, tomorrow you could feel amazing, or maybe you won't. But like the exciting part is you don't know. Your whole entire life could change tomorrow. And that's things like I always tell people, just get to the next day. Like get yourself to the next day. Even if you feel like you want to give up and you can't do it anymore, get yourself to the next day, because it's just, you might just need a reset, you know? And it's like, also, I think I read somewhere that's like, I think a feeling only lasts a certain amount of time, right? I think it's like, maybe it's like 90 seconds or something like that, where it's like feelings will come and go. And also like, this is life. It's a ups and downs. So you got to ride that wave and know that like everything's temporary. Things aren't, if you're at a high, it's not always going to be like that. It's temporary, because at some point it's going to drop down in the same way when it's down. So it's just like, you know, allowing yourself, like, give yourself some grace, understand we're all human and it's okay to have burnout. That's all right.
Yeah, beautifully said. Because I think if we don't feel the burnout, or if we don't feel the low, we can never really experience the high when we are on the top. So it's important. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Jeff, what does success mean to you?
Ooh, that's a great question. Also, I think what success means to me is is true happiness and enjoyment of life. So for me, like, being successful is just being, actually, no, you know what? As I'm thinking about it, being successful to me is being able to help other people. I think that's really what makes me feel the most successful. That and like being a dad. So like taking good care of my child and raising a good child. I have an 8-year-old. So it's, you know, being able to do that well is, you know, it is definitely makes me feel like I'm having some success in life. And then also helping other people, serving a purpose. Those are big things. But also, you know, but also, like, you know, what I was saying before is that, like, feeling, I'm trying to think of how I want to word it, but it's like, to me, success has nothing to do with your job,
Mm-hmm.
how high you are in a job, how much money you make, what type of car you drive. None of
Yeah.
that means nothing to me. Like, I come from a family where I grew up and we had money and I watched everybody lose it. And so I know both sides of the coin, and I see that, like, and I saw firsthand that, like, money is not everything. And so for me, like, that means nothing to me. Like, that will not, like, how are you a kind person? You know, that to me will tell me everything I need to know about you. How do
Yeah.
you treat your friends, your family? How do you treat the waiter at a restaurant? Like, all these
Yeah.
things. It's like, do you have empathy? Do you care about other people? So,
Mhm.
to me, those are the things that define true success, if that makes sense.
Yeah, awesome, amazing, definitely. And I love that. I love how you know, you share your view of success. It's not the norm success to people that what they normally think, right? Um,
Yes.
yeah, wonderful. The next round, Jeff, it's a power round. Okay, so I
Ooh,
want
let's
you to
go.
give me quick and short answers. Are we
All right,
ready?
let's go. Let's go.
All right,
Yes, we're ready. Let's do it.
good. A business book or podcast that changed your thinking?
Ooh, I got one for you right here. Hold on. I got it for you. It's called Attached. If you got, can you guys see it? It's called
Oh
Attached.
yes.
If you guys haven't read it yet, or if you guys are listening and you don't know what that is, it's a book on attachment theory, and it'll tell you everything you need to know, and it'll help you understand your own attachment style, because everybody should know it. So
Mhm.
that book, and then honestly, and then podcast, anything Mel Robbins, and also her book Let Them. So, like, yeah, all things Mel Robbins.
Good, good. Best advice you've ever received?
Ooh, just get yourself to the next day.
Okay.
That's the best advice, because that was advice that was given to me. Get yourself to the next day. Just keep
Mhm.
pushing. Tomorrow's a new day. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah. What's one thing you wish you've done differently?
Ooh, um, you know what? No regrets. No regrets. I think that's a trick question, because I feel like you should never look back on stuff. You should never look back and want to change something, because everything in your life that brought you to today, to this moment.
Mhm.
Because if I
Yeah,
change something, you and I might not be having this conversation. I might not have never met you if I go back and change something. So, you
true.
know what? I wouldn't change a thing.
Hmm. If you lost everything, what would be your first move, Jeff?
Oh, I would start fresh. Let's go. Let's start again. If I lost it all, I'd say, let's go back to the drawing board. We're doing it again. Let's go.
Yes. So, Jeff, what is next for you? And tell me about this Emmy winner thing.
Oof. Yes. Okay. Well, so first, won the Emmy from my last. So I'm a commercial producer currently. So my background's in reality TV, but right now
Okay.
I produce commercials at a TV station.
Mhm.
And the last station I was working for, me and two other producers, we did a promo. So it was a promo for this show that we do called Inside South Florida, and it was like a promo with we have two hosts, and it's a lifestyle show. And so we
Mhm.
spent like a week, like, shooting, producing this commercial, and it just ended up being this, like, really cool. I'll share it with you. I'll share it with you
Yes.
after this chat. But it was it just was a really cool and unique promo, and we submitted it to the Emmys. And I've been part of Emmy submissions before, and it's like, you never know
Mhm.
what's going to happen. And then it actually got nominated, and we're like, okay, so now we're
Wow.
going to the Emmys, and we didn't know what
Yeah.
to expect. And we all went as a team, and it was just so electric and so fun. And we ended up winning, and it was crazy, because I actually got to take an Emmy home with me, which, like, I've been on shows where we've won Emmys before, but I never actually got the trophy. So it's
Wow.
cool to have, and it's good to have on the resume, and it was a really awesome feeling to be a part of that. And so what's next for me, honestly, I don't know, but I
Mhm.
know it's going to be good, and I know it's going to be big. There's a lot of stuff I have in the works. I promise you guys, you will know who I am. You will see this face more. I have a lot of things in the works. I also have a reality show I'm working on that I'm trying to pitch. I'm not going to be on
Mm.
the reality show. I would just be creating it and executive producing it. But this is something that's been in the works for like almost a year now. It would shoot out here in South Florida, but I'm pitching it in LA. And it's like, there's a lot of moving parts. It's very hard to sell a show in this, especially now. But I'm working on it. So that would be a really cool thing to make come true. If not, it's okay. I got plenty of other ideas, but I promise you guys, you will just remember the name. Okay. Remember, if you guys don't follow me already, follow me on TikTok or everywhere else. But I promise you, you will see me on a bigger platform. I just don't know where that's going to be. You're going to have to wait and see.
Yes. Well, how exciting. Now, Jeff, what would your advice be for somebody that's watching, maybe they want to start something, maybe not content creation, just they have a dream, they have a goal. What advice will you give them?
Do it. Just do it. What are you waiting for? Now is the time. Now is the time. Do it. Anything, like, we're in this time now where anything is possible. I mean, and you can understand this too, right? Where it's like, you can be anything you want to be. If you want to do acting, music, producing, like we now have the tools in this. We have it here. This is we have it in our pockets. Like, you don't need to go out and buy all these, like, it's like you can be anything you want to be and make it and making it now with like AI and ChatGPT, you can do anything. So if you're on the fence and you're nervous to pull the trigger, I encourage you to do it. And if you're in the content creation world and you're like, I don't want to do it, it's going to be cringe. That's the best part. The cringe is good. Cringe is great, because here's the thing. It's always cringe until it works. That's it. It's always, everyone's always going to look at you like, oh, until you blow up and you have millions of followers. Then all those same people are like, oh my God, I love you. I knew all along. I was always rooting for you. It's like, no, you weren't. You know what I mean? So it's like, just do it. Yeah. You never know. I always say that, like, content creation and TikTok, it's literally like a lottery ticket. It's a free lottery ticket, because your video could blow up and it could change your life. It could change your life completely. So just do it. Post something. Even if you think it's lame, you think it's cringe, who cares? And if you're worried about what, Johnny from your hometown thinks, who cares? Those people are judging you anyway. They're judging you already. So, like, let them judge. The people that are going to judge you are always going to, like, those are going to be the people that are never going to have what it takes to do what you're doing. And let me tell you this too. Another fun fact is that nobody, like, anybody that's doing better than you will never be hating on you. So anybody that's hating on you will never come from somebody that's more successful than you or that's doing better than you. Those haters come from people that wish they could be doing what you're doing. All the successful people are going to be rooting for you because they're successful, because they, they're that's a different human. They took the step, they put in the work. So just keep that in mind. Like, haters are going to hate no matter what. So if you can get yourself past that and stop worrying about what everybody thinks, because here's the thing. Do you think about all these people throughout the day? No, you don't. So they don't think about you either. They don't care what you're doing. Instagram is fake. Everyone's just posting their highlights. Like, let them live their little fake lives. You go do you and thrive. That's it. You never know. So I encourage everybody out there, just do it.
I love that. What a great and wonderful advice, Jeff. So lastly, I'm going to ask you, how does viewers get in contact with you?
Ooh, that's a great one. Hold on, buddy. Hold on. No, I'll be right there. Hold on. Give me a second. I'll be there in a second. Can you close that? This happened on the last podcast. I did too. Can you close the door? I'll get you when I'm done. I promise. You're good. I good. Can you close it, please? I'm doing this, buddy. I told you I was doing something. Just close it, please. Thank you. Love you. It's kids with their iPads. Okay, I'm sorry. Where to find me? See, this is parenting.
Beautiful song there. That's
okay. Yep. Yeah, anytime. And it's like so funny too, because I tell him, I'm like, listen, I'm going to be doing a podcast. I'm going to close the door. And he like comes in with his iPad and he's like, can you get me this game? And you can do this game. I'm like, I'm doing something, dude. But that's being a parent. Anyways, if you're a parent out there, you can relate. How to get in contact with me? It's just at my first and last name. And that's Jeff Musolino. And that's spelled Jeff Mus as in Sam, Olino. Musolino, like Mussolini, but one less S and an O at the end instead of an I. So that's it. Jeff Musolino. Or if you go on TikTok and you type in your dad, you'll probably find me through there too. But yeah, I'm on TikTok. I'm on Instagram. I'm the most active on TikTok, but I do carry some stuff over to Instagram. And like Instagram is kind of just like my dumping ground where I'll bring like successful videos from TikTok. I'll bring those over to Instagram. So I'm the most active on TikTok. So definitely find me over there. I'm like, and honestly, my DMs are open. I am always interested in if people need help or they need somebody to talk to or they want advice. Slide in my DMs. Do it now, because I'm about to start doing one-on-ones where I'm going to start charging people. Like that's going to be my next thing, where
Yeah.
I'm going to start to do like actual one-on-ones. So
Mm.
before I even get that figured out, come through. I'll answer my DMs and I'll send you voice notes and I'll talk you through whatever you need. So I'm always here. If you feel like you have no one else, please find me. I got you.
Oh, that's so wonderful. Jeff, I just want to say thank you so much for your time today. Whenever I speak with you, you just have the best energy and you just light the room up. Even though this is not physically, but you just light the room up. So I appreciate you, and I truly look forward to meet you next year when I'm over there.
Oh my God, you're the cutest. Thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you know. I would do anytime you want to have a chat, you just let me know. I'm here. I got you. I would love to do this again with you. And yes, please let me know whenever you're in town. Let me know if you ever make it to South Florida. But also LA is like is where you're trying to be though, right? That's like your
Yes.
destination.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which like me too. I'm trying to make it back there too. So like maybe we'll cross paths in LA. But the dream would be like, imagine if we could work on something together. Like that would be really sick.
Yeah,
It's gonna happen. I'm manifesting it. We're putting it out into the universe.
That's right. You got to make it happen, right? Make it happen.
Yes. Oh my God. I would for sure. If I'm ever in a position, trust me, if I'm ever in a position where I can cast you for something, just know it's already done. It's a done deal. I got you. I'm already in my head. My dream is to just like just work with everybody that I love and everybody that I've worked with. Like I already have like people where it's like as soon as I can assemble my Avengers, I'm pulling them and you're right there with it. So like, I got you. Just stay tuned. As soon as I have something for you, I'm grabbing you and pulling you in.
Oh, thank you, Jeff. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of From Scratch to Success. I'm sure you guys feel that energy. I certainly am. So make sure you guys follow Oz Arab Media, and God bless you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.